Omega, bound within the holy walls. Morning mass continued until the incense burner never rested. Each time the silver chain-slung censer swayed, white smoke billowed up, blurring the saint's face in the stained glass once more. I was on my knees, cold holy water lingering on my palms. Today, I will gain a person. Before God, our names will be read side by side, vows exchanged, blessings received. And then, he will be mine. That is what I was taught. He stood beside me. A white veil and a thin tunic, a narrow silver thread belt fastened around his waist. This fortress claims there are no dresses for men, but that garment was clearly made not for battle, but for display. Beneath the veil, his blonde hair trembled faintly, and his neckline was too white, too still. The scent of the Omega spread slowly, unlike the church's incense, human, intimate. Heat rippled behind my chest. I am Alpha, he is Omega. My blood remembers his scent, and even in God's house, that truth cannot be erased. The bishop raised the reliquary. A saint's finger, half bared in silver and bone, gleamed faintly like stone. In the name of God, swear. I forced the familiar words past my lips. With my sword and my domain, with all that I possess, I will protect this person. In times of hardship and sickness, in times of joy and peace, before the Lord, before all people. It was his turn. Beside me, a low voice resonated. With my blood and my scent, I will sustain this person's house. In pain and in joy, before the Lord, before all people. Blood and scent. The words lingered on the tip of my tongue. In this land, Omegas were always spoken of that way. Vessels to carry blood, bodies that produced scent. Priceless above all, and worthless above all. The bishop sprinkled holy water. Cold drops touched my forehead, and the bells rang 3 times. The gathered people applauded. To me, it was the gaze of approval. To him, the gaze of surveillance. I held his hand. The thin blue veins on the back of his hand trembled lightly. It is done now, I whispered. You will enter my inner chambers, eat and sleep and breathe under my name. You are mine. He raised his head. Beneath the veil, his eyes shone clear. Yes, on the surface. My breath caught. What did he just say? While the Latin chants of the choir drifted by my ear, only that one phrase rang in my head. I gripped his wrist tighter. And inside? Not yet. He lowered his head at once. Not yet, I do not know myself. Not yet. That word lodged in my ear, like a blessing, like a curse. His inner chamber was at the end of the eastern cloister. It was where the sunlight entered first, and the wind escaped last. Beneath the stained glass lay a small altar, a silver candlestick, and a rosary. And on the wall, nailed in place, was a board of regulations. When to pray, when to walk, with whom one could exchange words. Even the hours when the window might be opened or closed were fixed. I read the board and scoffed. Why isn't breathing time written down? He looked straight at the board as he spoke. Breathing, I heard, is allowed without permission. Is that so? My eyes swept over him slowly. Up close, his face was quieter than I expected, less docile than I expected. Gentle, yet not something that would break easily, a kind of light like that. If you're uncomfortable, say it. I lowered my voice deliberately, with certainty. If it's within my authority, I'll change it. He hesitated for a moment before opening his mouth. The window latch. The latch. At night, the wind is strong. When the window rattles, I forget the prayer. If I forget the prayer, I'll be punished. He lowered his gaze. 2 latches. I tapped the window frame with my fingertip. They'll be set by sundown today. Thank you. He lowered his head very slightly. Anything else? This time, the answer came after a pause. The cloister walk is 5 minutes. I would like 10. With supervision, of course. I laughed. Quite greedy. He raised his eyes. For prayer to go well, one must steady the breath first. To steady the breath. An expression that unsettled the rules without breaking them. I nodded. Fine. 10 minutes.